Welcome to Community Taking Action, ABCD's program highlighting people and organizations doing great things in and around the Boston area. Today, we are joined by Larry Mays, the Vice President of Programs at Catholic Charities. Welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And so there is a lot that we could cover looking at what Catholic Charities has and does in the greater Boston community. But first, let's talk a little bit about Larry Mays. You know, our viewers may be familiar with your name or your face because you were active in the city. And so you were head of human services?
Right, cabinet chief for Mayor Menino for 6 years. And then after that, I moved on to Catholic Charities.
And you covered a range of things, elders, youth.
Elders, youth, Boston Centers for Youth and Families, Civil Rights Commission. They were all directors over those departments, all those that were department heads and shelters. And because I was also, my office was on the 5th floor with the mayor, all the issues that
Everything.
that he had to deal with, along with the cabinet issues.
And so for that, I think many people will recognize your name, even if they're not familiar with your face. And now you're with Catholic Charities.
Yes.
It's been how long?
It's 4 years now. 4 quick years. Pretty amazing. I've had a great time. It's a lot going on. It's given me the chance to go beyond the issues in the city, right? Statewide, but also recognize that Boston is just a leviathan that touches so much. But it's been good to see the broader picture in terms of other communities and how the services that are available or lack thereof outside of Boston.
Because Catholic Charities serves more than just Boston.
Right.
Talk about the scope and the reach of Catholic Charities.
Well, there are 100 different programs at Catholic Charities. In terms of the geographical reach, we go as far as Haverhill, in the North Shore, all the way down to the South Shore, down to Brockton.
There are a lot of programs at Catholic Charities, and I wanted you to try and distill what Catholic Charities is what you're aiming to do, and talk a little bit about some of the programming that you use to do that.
It starts with child care, education. Then there's adult education, GED, ESL. Also, it starts with child care, education. Then there's adult education. We are told that we are one of the largest distributors of food in the state because of our relationship with the Greater Boston Food Bank and some other places. And beyond that, we're probably one of the largest interpretive services organizations in the state. And one of the lesser known things we're known for, or that we do, is settlements. Catholic Charities in general is a State Department approved organization to receive folks into the country. I think about Catholic Charities as child care, adult education and that, GEDs and all that, and then food security, and then the interpretive services and family engagements.
Where does someone go for assistance in the Boston area for help?
So for Boston, it's the Yawkey Center on Columbia Road, and also the La Beret, which is in South Boston. But the main organizational thrust, if you will, is at the Yawkey Center, which is what we call Greater Boston.
As you have said, child care is really one of the largest pieces or the most well-known or active pieces of what goes on. So I know that they have that at the Yawkey Center.
Right.
And what other programs take place?
So at the Yawkey Center, there's a very healthy food security pantry operation. Also, there is a adult education, very robust one, which is interesting that I wanted to mention that because I had, a year or so ago, had visited one of the classes at the Yawkey Center, one of the adult education classes, and got more than I bargained for. There was a gentleman there who was in his late 70s, there to learn how to get his GED.
Wow.
As he would say, read and write. And he had been a sharecropper in South Carolina and had moved as a young man to Boston. And here he was in our classes. And he said his goal before he died was to be able to read and write, right? And so there were a couple other folks who were from, one was from Haiti and another country who had said the same thing. And the thing that struck me was, I'm talking about the power of language and the desire to learn, right? And even those other two cases, they weren't like these were folks in their 20s or even 30s. These are older people who said, look, before I die, I want to be able to do, read and write. And I said, man, that is a powerful demonstration of the Americans, of the human spirit, I should say.
It is powerful.
It is powerful. And those are stories you don't see in here, but man, that gets you up in the morning.
Now, you've talked a couple of times about food security and a little bit of something about what's going on in Boston and the Dorchester area. Food security is a very, very big topic. The community seems to be more well educated about the necessity of food security, how to get it, where to get it, what to get.
Right.
If you could talk a little bit more about where that stands. I mean, food pantry, the cans alone, and the food, the produce, those things really, it requires a lot of work.
There's a lot of work. And you do want people to eat healthy, right? Eat better. Because we know if young people receive the right nutrition, there's a whole cognitive factor to that and how well they can think, how well they do in school.
We come back to you are what you eat, right?
You are what you eat. So there's a lot in that. So we take that very seriously, the whole food security thing. And is someone hungry, right? And not are they eating enough,
right?
But are they eating the right kinds of foods, right?
It's a very powerful thing to help someone provide basic nourishment for themselves.
Yeah. At our places, we're working very hard with the Greater Boston Food Bank to provide, good food, right? But we don't want anybody to go hungry for any reason.
Absolutely. So we're coming up on the end of our time. If you wanted to just summarize the work that Catholic Charities does in the community and really leave something for viewers, what would that be?
I would say it's childcare, family engagement, and in our interpretive services business and the food security. Those are things that we're thinking about all the time. Things that people don't see is the amount of time that we spend with advocacy at the State House and with the city. So as you know, the ability to provide these services is coupled by the policy issues that surround them. So it's people, programs, and policy are the things that I think about all the time.
Excellent.
And how they all integrate.
And how does someone connect with Catholic Charities, web or phone information?
Website, www.ccab.org, and they can also call 617-451-7951 and find someone and reach out.
All right. So it's been enlightening, all of our conversation, and I look forward to maybe bringing you back on, and we'll delve deeper into one of your newer programs as you roll them out.
Is it appropriate that I thank ABCD for all the work that they've done over the years?
Well, certainly, it's always appropriate to thank everybody, anybody and everybody.
Sure. Thank you.
We have worked with Catholic Charities for many, many years, both being in Boston, and so we're always happy to continue work and to have you guys on the program. Maybe we'll bring someone from the program and really jump into it.
Anytime.
Great.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you again for being on the program.
Okay.
That concludes our program today. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And if you've missed any episodes, you can get them on YouTube. Thank you for joining Community Taking Action. I'm your host, Eric Mitchell. Until next time.